Bradley Cooper is probably waiting to be subpoenaed.
Because Diddy's currently in a scandal.
The thing is, the more she shows how happy she is and that she moved on from all of this and that she is out celebrating life, the worse it is for her.
I know you're probably rolling your eyes at another Blake Lively drama, but hold up. This time, it's Gigi Hadid dropping bombshell, and it was live on air. Oh my God, can you believe it? Just when we thought the Blake Lively saga couldn't get any messier, boom, Gigi Hadid drops a live on-air truth grenade and leaves everyone shook. No warnings, no filter, just pure, delicious drama.
Maybe Gigi Hadid didn't want her to show up.
After Taylor Swift basically ghosted her, Gigi just decided to drop some truth bombs that Blake wasn't ready for. And no, she didn't even have to speak a word. It's just what she did was bad enough to make poor Blake wish she'd stayed home in the first place. So here's the tea, my friends. Gigi Hadid and Blake Lively. Yeah, they used to be inseparable. In ride or die level BFFs. They were practically joined at the hip, posing on red carpets like fashion royalty, brunching like their lives depended on it, flooding social media with those oh so perfect bestie selfies. Squad goals? Please. They were the squad. But guess what? That perfect friendship, it's crumbling. And not quietly either.
New York, the day after this event took place, one of Blake's besties had a 30th birthday, Gigi Hadid.
They were basically the definition of friendship goals always seen together. Red carpets, brunches, social media posts that scream BFFs forever. But guess what? That picture-perfect duo is starting to crumble. And it's not subtle at all. Blake didn't even bother showing up to Gigi's 30th birthday. Did not show. Like, how do you skip your bestie's biggest night and not expect people to raise eyebrows? Especially when Gigi pulled out all the stops. Think glam, think gold, think iconic.
There were a lot of celebrities there. Of course, her boyfriend Bradley Cooper was there, or her fiance. I don't know if they're engaged. And others were there, Anne Hathaway, her husband.
Let's think about this for a second. Gigi Hadid, the supermodel, the queen of the fashion world, having a massive milestone birthday with a guest list full of A-listers. And where's Blake? Not there. No text, no IG story shout out, not even a passive-aggressive wish I could be there post. Nada. Blake was MIA, and people noticed, especially Gigi. This wasn't just a forgotten invite. This was a statement. A loud one.
Who wasn't there? One of her BFFs, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I don't know if she was invited or not, but I think it's weird that you don't show up in one of your best friend's 30th birthday party.
I mean, Gigi's been quiet about cutting ties with people before, like Taylor Swift, and she's no stranger to ditching toxic friendships, so maybe Blake's got one less person on her perfect Hollywood friend list. And let's not act like this came out of nowhere. Gigi's got a history of cutting the drama and walking away when things get toxic. Remember her silent exit from Taylor Swift's inner circle? It was cold, it was clean, and now it's Blake's turn to get iced out.
It's not that you don't want to be out and seen out in public, because she did go to that event the day before. I think, maybe Gigi Hadid didn't want her to show up.
And let's be real, when Blake didn't show up, it wasn't just a whoops, I forgot moment. This was a big deal. Gigi's birthday was the event, and Blake's absence was loud. We all know Blake's been wrapped up in legal messes, drama with Justin Baldoni, and let's not forget the media circus she's been dragging around. Honey, this wasn't an oops, I got busy kind of thing. This was a loud statement. And with all the chaos swirling around Blake, lawsuits, on-set tantrums, not so subtle shade, people are starting to see through that glossy, picture-perfect facade, including Gigi.
Both her and Bradley Cooper is probably waiting to be
Maybe people like Gigi, who once supported her, are starting to see Blake for what she really is. Let's face it, Gigi's no fool. She's probably seen more behind the scenes than we ever will. And now that the smoke and mirrors are fading, she's not sticking around to play backup dancer in Blake's downward spiral.
I think Gigi Hadid does not want to be seen at all with her friend Blake Lively or her ex-friend.
As her world unravels, people are slowly starting to slip away. And I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before more people follow Gigi's lead. Who wants to stick around when someone's on a public meltdown tour? Seriously, nobody wants front row seats to someone else's emotional implosion. Gigi might just be the first domino. If she's stepping away, it's only a matter of time before others in Blake's inner circle follow. Who wants to babysit drama?
Lively added a special thanks to Bradley Cooper in the end credits of It Ends With Us. And as you know, she brought Gigi Hadid to the premiere, and I think she also had like a pre-screening where Bradley Cooper was seen at. So Yeah, so why wasn't she at that birthday?
And now, let's dive into the disaster that is Blake and Ryan's relationship. So, after Gigi's birthday snub, what does Blake and Ryan do? Oh, they really went for it with the PDA, overdoing it like their lives depended on it. Oh, you won't believe this part. Right after the Gigi drama went public, Blake and Ryan decided to crank up the couple vibes. I mean, they were practically attached at the lips, kisses here, hand-holding there. It was like watching a Hallmark movie on steroids.
Know that Blake and Ryan flew to Wales on Saturday. They were there for a football match with Ryan Reynolds' football team, Wrexham, and there were pictures everywhere of them kissing and showing PDA in public.
They're in Wales, holding hands, kissing, looking like they just stepped out of a rom-com. It was so over the top, it was painful to watch. They were practically begging the world to believe they were still the perfect couple. But guess what? The harder they tried to convince everyone, the more obvious it became that something was seriously wrong. It's like the universe gave them a standing ovation for their desperate attempt to control the narrative. And the worst part? It didn't even feel real. It felt desperate. Like two people screaming, "Look how happy we are," while everything behind the scenes is burning. You don't need to put on that much of a show unless you're hiding something big.
It was like, what are they trying to prove? It seems so desperate to show that, look, we're so in love and we want to show the world how unaffected we are.
Their cringy public display was an act. No one needed it, but they sure thought it would make everyone forget about the growing storm around them. Here's the kicker. The more they showed off their perfect life, the more they exposed how messed up everything really was. It's like they were trying to sell us this beautiful picture of their relationship. But we all know that when you have to prove how perfect you are, you're usually far from it. They didn't just fail to convince the public, they failed themselves. Exactly. When everything's fine, you don't need to shout about it. But Blake and Ryan, they were practically on a PR mission, trying to out-happy every scandal that came their way to them. The more they smiled, the more everyone side-eyed them.
The thing is, the more she shows how happy she is and that she moved on from all of this and that she is out celebrating life, the worse it is for her loss.
And guess what? Their desperate need for validation didn't make their problems go away, it just made them worse. The more they screamed, "We're fine," the louder it echoed how much they were falling apart. The world saw it. And now Blake and Ryan's clumsy efforts to salvage their image are just adding fuel to the fire. It's all crumbling, and the worse they act, the more people notice. Every photo op, every cheesy couple moment, it's just making things worse. Like, stop trying to fool us. We see the cracks. And the more they try to spackle over them with smiles, the more obvious it is. This whole house of cards is crashing.
There's all these photos of her, and then there's a video of her where she's like directing, of course, her husband and where to stand, and she's taking photos and waving to all the fans and posing with fans and taking selfies and like, hey, we're so happy and we're super popular.
When you're really unaffected by the noise, you don't need to shout about it. You just let things be. But for Blake and Ryan, every desperate attempt to stay in the spotlight just made their situation messier. The cracks, yeah, they're showing, and no matter how hard they try to patch them up, it's too late. Like, honestly, if everything in your life is truly fine, you don't post it, flaunt it, and push it in everyone's faces. But Blake and Ryan? Oh, they've been shouting from the rooftops, trying so hard to stay relevant while the whispers around them grow louder. You can slap a filter on a disaster, but the smell, it still gets through.
She's been lying, she's abusing the justice system.
And our role is to be the humanities guide to trusted journalism. And so we're the storytellers. We've been telling stories for 100 years.
And how can we forget Selena Gomez past warning about Blake Lively that is resurfacing, and it's casting a long shadow over the ongoing drama. Let's not act surprised. Remember when Selena Gomez warned Taylor Swift about Blake? Well, honey, that warning is aging like fine wine because it's all coming true now, and people are finally starting to connect the dots.
So another celebrity coming out against Blake. According to Daily Mail, Selena Gomez, who is really good friends with Taylor Swift, had warned Taylor Swift about Blake Lively a year.
Allegedly, Selena told Taylor Swift to steer clear of Blake due to her manipulative and toxic behavior. But this isn't just idle gossip. It's a calculated warning from someone who's been on the inside, seen the real Blake, and knew exactly what she was dealing with. And now, as Blake continues to embroil Taylor Swift in her own messy legal battles, Selena's cautionary advice appears more relevant than ever. Selena saw the storm before it hit. She knew Blake had this darker side, controlling, calculating, playing people like pieces on a chessboard. And now, Taylor's name is being dragged into Blake's legal disaster? Oh, Selena's probably somewhere whispering, "Told you so."
Apparently, Selena Gomez found it odd that Taylor Swift is the godmother of all of Blake Lively's children.
Selena's warning came at a time when Blake and Taylor were growing closer. And yet, Selena saw something that others may have overlooked. While Taylor Swift is known for her tight-knit group of friends, her squad, Selena, ever the observer, was reportedly not impressed by Blake's attempts to join the inner circle. Taylor's squad is sacred, okay? It's all trust, loyalty, and no drama. So when Selena spotted Blake pushing her way in with all that polished charm, red flags everywhere. She didn't buy the act, and now we all know why.
And of course, now that we know what happened, when she dragged Taylor Swift into this, Selena Gomez is like, yeah, Taylor, I told you so. Stay away from Blake. Anyways, I don't know if this is based on rumors or whatever it is, but it's interesting to see now how so many people are taking a step back from Blake.
Selena, knowing the pressures of the Hollywood machine and the toxic tendencies that come with fame, saw red flags that others might have missed. Fast forward to 2025, and Selena's warning seems prophetic. Taylor has slowly distanced herself from Blake, refusing to get pulled into the whirlwind of Blake's legal mess. Was this distancing driven by Blake's recent behavior, or was it Selena's warning all along that Taylor has finally started to take it seriously? This isn't just hindsight, it's foresight. Selena saw this coming and tried to keep Taylor out of it, and now that Blake's legal chaos is swallowing her reputation whole, Taylor's stepping back. Is it the lawsuits, or is it the realization that Selena had been right all along?
I should be there. I need to shine right now. I don't know what that means. Is that something that he trained her in thinking before she was gonna have this speech, that's like what she should be thinking? Because he can't say, I should be there, I should.
Blake's involvement in a drawn-out legal battle with Justin Bolden has added layers of complexity to her public image. As her relationship with Ryan Reynolds has come under scrutiny, it seems Blake has not shied away from using her high-profile friendships for leverage. By associating herself with A-listers like Taylor Swift, she hoped to maintain a pristine image, but it now appears that her motives might be far more calculated. It's all starting to make sense, right? Blake wasn't just hanging with celebs, she was building a shield. Surround yourself with A-listers and suddenly your mess looks a little more sparkly. But now that shield's cracking and the truth behind the friendships, not as sweet as it seemed.
Said to him, kiss me one more time. And that's when we see them kiss each other, and then she gets up and have the speech. I didn't make this.
Selena, who has always kept her circle tight and her relationships private, was right to warn Taylor. Blake's public persona, at least the one she projects to seeds, seems to be a carefully constructed facade. Behind it, there are accusations of manipulation, and Blake's continuous involvement in her legal battles, including pulling Taylor into it, has only confirmed that she might be using these friendships to distract from her own mess. Ryan Reynolds reacting to Blake Lively's speech where she alluded to Justin Bolden's legal battle. So surprising that People magazine chose this headline. And then the quote that they're basing this article on is, "I'm incredibly in awe of my wife in many ways." The hypocrisy is glaring. Blake's ability to use her connections for credibility is becoming increasingly obvious. By keeping Taylor and other powerful names in her corner, she tries to paint a picture of an innocent party in all of this drama. But what's happening behind closed doors paints a different picture. One of a woman who's willing to manipulate the media, the legal system, and even her own friendships for personal gain. Seemingly had an article out that, with a long list of Blake's victims of who she's bullied throughout her career, if Blake was truly as innocent as she wants us to believe, would she be involving others in her legal mess? Would she really bring Taylor into this storm, knowing full well that it would damage her own credibility? The more you look at it, the more it seems like Blake is playing the game on her own terms, with no concern for the fallout on others. It's all about the narrative she's creating, and she's not above using anyone, even close friends like Taylor Swift, to keep it going. I mean, there must be so many more bad interviews out there. I'm sure so many journalists are sitting on their interviews with her that they never published because they thought it was awful. Gigi Hadid's involvement in Blake's drama is another key piece of the puzzle that's raising eyebrows. There's a growing sense of disdain between the two, and it's not hard to see why. Gigi's private screening of It Ends With Us with Blake and Bradley Cooper in attendance revealed a deeper relationship with Ryan Reynolds and a closer connection to Blake's professional life than many realized. Yeah, she saw it. I'll do the review. It's amazing. You got to pan over to Lillian Atlas. This is a big deal, you know? Yeah. Thank you, guys. I will say, yes, she saw it. I'll be the review. Fill words. It's amazing. Hollywood loves a comeback, but it also loves a clean image. And Rachel, she's got a lot of scrubbing to do. So what now? Can she recover? Maybe, but it's gonna take more than a cute TikTok and a heartfelt tweet. She'll need to actually listen, reflect, change, show the world she's more than a soundbite. Because right now, the fairest of them all is the one who knows when to hush and sparkle. And to hush and sparkle.